Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yasmine. I'm a mum of two living in London, and this channel is all about my financial journey. It's generally anything to do with adulting and getting my life together. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's a little bit late because we're already in October, but this is essentially my October budget. The reason it's a bit late is because I am doing it slightly different this month. I've started using a program called You Need a Budget. I became a single mum 3 years ago. I have always worked full-time and more recently as a project manager. There's quite a few things that I have changed in the last couple of years since becoming single. I had to get myself out of £38,000 worth of debt, and I also was able to buy this house off of my ex, which is amazing. I'm so grateful to have been able to get myself into this position, and I'm just sharing my journey in the hope that it can help some other people, inspire people, or just get you motivated. My life has completely changed since I started budgeting, and absolutely for the better. So today we are looking at my October budget. We are a few days already into October, but I have done something slightly different this month in that I'm using a software called You Need a Budget. Now, this is not me recommending it. I am still on the free trial, having a look and see what I think about the software, and I will absolutely come back and update you once I've used it enough to really have an opinion. I am enjoying it so far. It's not simple, it's quite complicated, and it can easily go wrong if you don't fully understand how to use it. So the jury's out. I will take you through October now. I'm going to allocate my money with you on screen. I'm not going to do like a screen recording. I'm going to record the screen so that I can point to stuff. It makes it a little bit easier. So hopefully the quality is okay for you to see. And yeah, let's get into it. So one of the things that I always do when I start budgeting for my month is just look at exactly what is happening in the month and have a think about, how do I make my budget work? So obviously by now I've got quite a good idea of what my bills are, quite a good idea of what I spend. So this is the month of October. I just mark when the kids are at their dad's so that I can think about either reducing the amount that I need to spend on food or looking after the kids or entertaining the kids, so just to be aware of those days. But then I also think about what am I doing when I've got the kids. So in this particular month, I've got the green is like a couple of nights out and events that I'm doing with friends. I've got a gig on this day, but for example, I'm not paying for the ticket because it's because of work. So yeah, I've got two pretty much normal weeks, 2 weekends where the kids are at their dad's, and then we are actually going to New York. So this is half term and this week is half term as well. So we'll be in New York from the 17th onwards, and then when we're back, the kids will be with their dad or at the childminders. So they are sleeping over at my house for a bit, but they'll be at the childminders during the day because I'm working, and then they'll be with their dad. So this month, for example, I'm really looking at 2 normal weeks for my food budget, for my petrol budget, and any travel, etc., because we won't be doing food shopping per se whilst we're here. So I'm planning on moving some of the money from my normal weekly, monthly expenses into a budget that is for holiday. So let's get into the detail. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that okay. So what this software does is when you add money into the account, it shows it as ready to assign here. And then you can see that if I go to September, I'm just going to open this up a little bit. I was already using it a little bit in September, but not sort of perfectly, and I missed some of my bills because I started halfway through. But I've got each section where I have put in my bills, and over here you can, so if I click on mortgage, for example, then let me shift this way a little bit. You can see here, you can set yourself like targets as to how much it needs to be funded by and by when each month. So the program kind of calculates for you how much you need to pay in by when. So it helps you prioritize your money. I've done my categories pretty similar to what I've always done before. And I've got some in hold, which is like my buffers. I have got my direct debits, my bills, my expenses, which is like my weekly cash envelopes. And then I've got my sinking funds here, my savings, spending sinking funds. We'll go into these in more detail. And then my big sort of goals for savings, spending goals, which is things that I know I'm going to spend, but I'm sort of aiming towards having a certain amount of money. And then I've got this here, it's not actual debt, it's savings for paying off a holiday, but I've just called it debt because we've booked the holiday, so we do need to pay the holiday off. And that actually covers the holiday that I'm going on with Budget with Ira and Jake. So yeah, that's just basically how I'm tracking where we're up to in terms of paying for that holiday. So that's kind of not relevant to my actual budget. So let's just go through and allocate this money, which is a combination of my pay, and then there's another few bits in there as well. The good thing about this is I could have like multiple amounts of money go in, and then it will just all add it up all together. I'm possibly losing track of each paycheck being allocated specifically to things, but you'll see what I mean as we go along. You can link this up to your bank accounts as well, but I haven't done that. I'm doing everything manually at the moment. Okay, so here it's saying I've got £2,725.70 ready to allocate. So I've got these hold sections here, which is for my buffer. At the moment, I'm not going to allocate anything there because it's not a priority. That's more things that when I've got a bit of money left over, and you can see these are the amounts that have been rolled over from last month. So I keep a £20 buffer all the time in my Monzo. I had £15.18 left over in my actual Starling account at the end of last month. Side hustle unclaimed, so that's at a poll. I do surveys every now and again. I've actually got a bit more than that now, but I just sort of only account for the money when it's like around £5 or £10. So, and then this is if I've got some cash that I've taken out, but I've got it on hold because I haven't actually stuffed it into the different envelopes. So I'll close that up for now because it's not important for the immediate thing that we're doing. And so here I have all of my bills. So if we look at mortgage, I have got 41 pence left over from last month because I always put in 142 or something. And yeah, it was like not exactly to the pence, but it says that I need £941.59 before the 14th of October. So I know that this money here does need to pay my next mortgage payment. So I am going to top that up. And just so like everyone's really clear, my actions in here don't make any difference to my money. This is just like the planning part, and then I will have to go and move that money into the pot that I use in my Starling bank account. So this is just planning, but by me putting these numbers in, I'm not actually sending my money anywhere. So £941.59 needs to be allocated, and you can see now because I've allocated that amount, I've gone to fully funded, and it's got exactly what's needed to pay my mortgage this month. So moving down to energy, I already have £100 because I was over allocating into energy for the last couple of months, thinking that obviously the energy prices were going up, but they have gone up, but not as much as we expected. And we've also started to receive the £60 per month towards the bills. So what I've decided to do is bring it all down a little bit again in terms of energy, because I'm not as concerned. My direct debit is at £120 now, and I've also got about £260 in credit in my bank account, in my energy account, and that's only having received 1 month's worth of the £600. So I'm quite comfortable. So I'm only going to put £20 in there this month, which gets it to fully funded. I'm not going to keep too much extra for now. I do want to get ahead with my bills, but I want to do that across the board. So I'm not going to sort of pick out energy as a specific one. Childcare. So childcare, it says fully spent because I received the money, but I paid it straight out into the child care account. So I have already accounted for that. My last car payment was towards the end of last month, and I need £137.80 more by the 31st of October. Now, I am expecting more income before the 31st of October. So from this amount here, which is ready to assign, I'm going to decide to not fund anything into my car payment right now. And I will do that when I get more income later down the line. My council tax is £146 needed by the 1st. Now, this is just where I'm slightly behind because I have actually paid my council tax already. So I'm putting £146 into here. But what I will do after is I'll update my transactions to say that has come out. Now, that is something that you could happen automatically because you can link your bank accounts up, but for me personally, I'm not doing any of the automatic stuff because I like going through it. So yeah, I just need to put a transaction in, which I'll do later. Phone bill needs £22 before the 21st of October, so I'm going to fully fund that. Life insurance is £14, so I'm going to fully fund that. And home insurance is £22, so I'm going to fully fund that. I'm going to fully fund my cleaner this month as well. I have, again, used £60 of that, so I'll need to update that with a transaction. Internet is going to be £51.25, which I am going to fully fund out of this available funds. And Spotify is now $9.99, which is a reduction from last month because I reduced the type of account that I've got. So that is all of my direct debit bills fully funded, and you can see I've still got £1,258 to allocate. So I'm going to reduce that down and then go next to my weekly expenses, my weekly envelopes. And the good thing about this is it does show what I've got left over in my envelopes. So starting from the top, this month, I usually allocate £300 for each month, but I have actually looked at my calendar and I will not be needing the full 300 this month. So I'm going to go with 150, and that is based on the fact that it's half term. We will be away for some of the half term, and I will be reallocating that money to the holiday fund, and the kids will be with their dad for almost a week of the half term. So the half term's 2 weeks. There'll be 1 week we'll be away, 1 week they'll be with their dad. And so I will not be budgeting much for food because it will just be me and I can eat what's in the cupboards. Petrol, I usually put £50 in. I have a full tank at the moment, so I'm just going to allocate £40 for now. And cleaner this is 240, which this is like my cash envelopes. So I will move the 240 to here once I've taken it out of the bank, and so that I know that I'm storing it in cash. But for the time being, I've just put it in my bank account to one side. Personal money, I don't remember if I give myself any. I'm going to allocate myself £20 for personal. I haven't had any kind of personal spending money for a while because I was doing no spend September. Spending and social has 20, which I didn't spend last month, but I am going to put another 20 in there, so it will be £40 total. Travel has £20 funded, and I'm not going to add any more to that. And miscellaneous has £30, and I'm not going to add any more to that because I'm not using it. Expenses can now go. So I'm down to £1,028.87. Just opening up expenses sinking funds. So I'm going to go £40 here for water, just to keep it on track. You can see it's on track there. It's not fully funded, but it knows that I have until February in 2023 to fully fund it. So by adding £40 this month, I'm just keeping it on track. Callum's birthday is a priority sinking fund for me. I have £130 in there at the moment. I'm going to fully fund that now so that it's done and out of the way with £70. I'm going to put 10 in Amber's birthday just to keep that ticking over. Her birthday is until next summer, but it's nice to just start building. Kids and school, I'm going to put in £60. There is always something coming up for school, so I want to make sure. Actually, I'm going to put in £100 because there's quite a few bits that I need to pay for school. Car maintenance is actually sitting at £342. I will be also spending 250 of that towards the end of this month because I'll be taking my car for a service. But that is quite down from where it was at 750 at the beginning of September because I paid for my insurance and my road tax, and then obviously I've still got the 250 to come out. I'm going to put £20 in there for now just to top it up. There will be a little bit left over, but yeah, it's just good to put a little bit back in there. I like to, even though I've paid for all the big things, I like to have a little bit just for an excess or something on an insurance if it was needed as well. Home maintenance, I've just put £1,000 needed eventually. This is, I guess, like a little bit of a kind of an emergency fund, but there's things that always need doing in the house. Victorian houses are money pits. So I would like to start building a house maintenance similar to the car maintenance for yearly things like boiler service, etc. I'm not going to stuff anything in there at the moment. Garden, I would like to build a fund because again there's lots that needs doing in the garden, and I've just looked out the garden, it's pouring with rain, I was about to go out. Christmas is fully funded at 300, so that doesn't need any more. So I've now got £788 left now that I've done those sinking funds. I've got my savings here. So in my savings, I've got my savings challenges, which is currently I've got £50 in my savings challenges. I've got Amber's ISA with £290 in. Callum's ISA's got 310. My ISA's got 500. Now these are obviously not touchable, but I do like to track them. And actually the amounts in those ISAs is all lower than that because they're stock and share ISAs and they've all lost money in the last few weeks and months. However, I'm tracking how much I'm able to put in rather than worrying about the fluctuations because I'm hoping that long term these will all make a lot of sense for us to have them. Emergency month ahead, so I would like to get that to £9,000, which is essentially 3 months worth of bills. At the moment I've only got my £50 in there, so yeah, that is, I'll maybe put £50 in because it is something I feel a bit nervous when I don't have much of an emergency fund. And then here I have my tax savings. Now I think I might have underpaid on tax, so I'm going to pop £100 in there as well because I think I might have underpaid on tax this year. I'm not really sure. My accountant's doing my self-assessment for me at the moment, and I do think I've got enough money, but I just want to put a bit extra just in case. I can always, it's like a savings if I get it back, so it's not the end of the world. And then this is my massive savings challenge of 100k. So you can see there, to stay on track, I need 7,000 more this month, which obviously is not about to happen anytime soon. I've got £4,915 in there. £50 in the savings challenge will eventually go into there when I've completed that particular challenge that I'm doing. Sinking funds, I've got days out here, which currently is sitting on £30. Clothing, I have £100 and I don't need it to use it. I'm going to just leave that as is for now. Occasions is got £60, which is fully funded. Health, I do need to put some money in here. So for those of you who follow my Instagram, you'll know that I have, and my TikTok actually, I've been spending quite a lot of money on my teeth recently. And so this 280 is for my final appointment. I've had to have x-rays and stuff. It's really quite frustrating. I've spent about £1,000 in the last month on my teeth, but you know, it's health, isn't it? So it's important. And I'm just really fortunate that I have been able to spend that money because I had sinking funds. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to afford it at all, and I can't get an NHS dentist because there are none. So that is that. I've got £190 here sitting in home decor because quite some time ago somebody did some wallpapering for me. They haven't come back to finish the job, so that's the rest of the money that they're owed, which I will pay when they finish the job. Giving has got £20 and I'm going to put another 20 in there now. I just try to top giving up whenever I can. I'm going to close that down so you can see now I've got £338. So spending goals, family holiday, I'm going to put £250 in here because we are going away and we need some money for that. I'm not going to put anything into solo travel for now. And then spending fun, I've got £20 in my birthday. I've got £9 in entertainment. I'm going to put £21 into entertainment to top it up to 30 because obviously, you know, I do like to do some things with the kids. So yeah, that's that. I'm just going to close that down, and you can see I've got £67.87 left. So if we go back up to hold, I'm going to put £67.87 into my Starling buffer, which means I've assigned all of my money. And the reason I'm doing that is just so that I keep it in the hold rather than sort of see, oh, I've got spare money. So what I'll do now is I will now go through my actual sinking funds and my Starling and match up all of the amounts that I've just allocated into those pots online or into the cash envelopes. So I will do a separate video on that. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I have uploaded new videos, and any likes and comments are always very much appreciated. As I said, I'll do a separate video on actually moving these funds. This was just more about where I'm putting everything. I hope that was okay to follow along with. Let me know what you think. I'd be interested to know if any of you guys have used You Need a Budget before. I'm definitely liking it. I'd love to get to the point where I could link all my bank accounts and just trust it to do its thing. But doing it manually for now is really helpful for me because I'm still having to get to grips with where everything is going. And I am in a situation where my income is fluctuating a little bit and I'm getting different amounts at different times of the month. So it is really useful for me to just be on top of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.